What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So it's come out that Instagram relationship guru, Derrick Jaxn is now dating an Instagram model. And he is in the process of divorcing his wife of, I think, about 4 years, right? The same wife that we found out he was cheating on about a year ago. And him and his wife sat in front of a camera discussing the infidelity, apologizing to the public. His wife was sitting on camera praying and all this and all of that. And just about a month ago, I think she was talking about people praying on the downfall of her marriage, so on and so forth, people having false narratives about their marriage. I'm paraphrasing, but it was along the lines of that. Now the brother is out here dating an IG model, he out here dating a woman he really, really want to be with, okay? And see, this is the thing. When I found out he was cheating and stuff, it wasn't a surprise to me because any man who never holds women accountable for anything they do, any man that panders to women and tell them they are never in the wrong no matter what situation is going on is either out of his damn mind or either he has an ulterior motive. And that's to get some sex from another woman, right? And I knew he was pandering out here to get women. It was a ploy to get women to love him, fall in love with him, to paint a false narrative, a false picture, right? Preying on these women's insecurities, preying on these women's wants, needs, and desires, and, their loneliness, to paint a picture of a man that's really not true. Because no man who is really a real man is going to let a woman believe that she's never wrong and she's always in the right no matter what she says. That's not a real man, right? And again, for those of you who are new to my channel, this is not a woman bashing channel. This is not a men rule all channel. I don't do that over here, right? I tell the truth straight down the middle. If a man is wrong, I say he wrong, and I say why. If a woman's wrong, I say she's wrong, and I say why. I don't try to big up one gender over the other because any person, a real man, and a real person in general recognizes that anybody could be wrong. We are all human. No person is above reproach just because, no matter their gender, just because of their gender. And that's what Derrick Jaxn was preaching. He was out here telling women no matter how nasty their attitude was, no matter how nasty their disposition was, no matter how obnoxious they could be, no matter, how much they could holler, yell, curse, and act irrational, no matter how childlike they were in the brain, it was always the man's fault. The man made them that way. It's their fault. It was never the woman's fault. He never told women the truth. And that's why I feel like his channel was detrimental to women instead of being real. Because when they got into the real world, they found out that no man was going to be like him because that's not a reality. And so they were going and trying to look for Derrick Jaxns and they were nowhere to be found. And then they got their feelings hurt and crushed and they started to think that all men were trash because men weren't just accepting any type of BS they were putting out into the atmosphere and not checking it. You know what I mean? And that was the danger of that, man, because in reality, in life in general, when a person is wrong, that person should be corrected and told they're wrong. You shouldn't just agree with a person just because, okay, dear, she's the woman, she say everything she says is right. I don't live by that ideology. I don't. I don't live by the happy wife, happy life ideology because I believe that men's happiness, a man's happiness is important too. I believe in the happiness across both genders in a relationship for sure. But I just feel like, he was painting a false picture to women that wasn't real, that wasn't realistic. And so they were out here in the dating world and they were struggling because they were trying to find Derrick Jaxns, and Derrick Jaxn was a facade. That was a facade that brother was putting forth. And now everybody sees it for what it is. The brother was running game, pandering to women to get women's draws. That's all it was. He was trying to GTD, get the draws, dog. Get the draws, dog, like Martin and Tommy said on Martin. That's what he was trying to do. And then ultimately he did. I'm sure he was out here finagling and philandering with a lot of different women while he was, married at home doing his thing and telling the world how the man that cheats on you is terrible. He's disgusting. He's the epitome of the scum at the bottom of your shoe while he was out here doing the same thing he was out here denigrating other men for doing. Ain't that some mess? But that's what the brother was doing. So it doesn't surprise me that he's out here running behind Instagram models and he was cheating and all this and all of that. And he was cheating on his wife and now he's ready to get a divorce. Because Derrick really wanted to be out here in the streets, and being a relationship guru was his avenue to really being in the streets and having his way with women out here. That was his avenue to do so. And I'm like, yeah, that I would never be teaching a rhetoric like that because I know that's unrealistic and it's toxic. It's not healthy for relationships to tell a person that no matter what they do, because they are the opposite sex, They are always in the right, and the man needs to check himself every single time. And it was a lot of women that was eating that up. He's a big dude with muscles. They see a big dude with muscles and a haircut, and if a dude got somewhat nice teeth in his mouth, there's some women just gonna go crazy and just lose their damn mind. Especially if he's talking what they want to hear, because he was telling a lot of these women what they really wanted to hear. But if a woman really can pay attention, she can say, that's some BS. Because a real woman would tell you that a woman is not always right. A real woman would tell you that, I ain't gonna say a real woman. I would say a woman in general, a woman that has sense. A woman that is a knowledgeable woman, a woman who is in her right mind. She's gonna tell you that a woman is not always right, that a woman does not always do the right thing, that a woman's say so is not always final, and that a woman's issues is not always a man's fault. A woman that is in her right mind will tell you that. And a woman that's battling different things and having different issues with insecurity, she's gonna always cling on to Derrick Jaxn rhetoric because she doesn't want to change certain things within herself. And that's what he was out here selling the dream, selling fool's gold to women. And while he was out here riding in the sunset, being the knight in shining armor for 50 different women, and while telling men while being on YouTube and Instagram, telling the men who did the same thing he was doing, they were trash and they were scum, he was out here profiting off of it in many different ways, getting money, getting book deals, and he was out here GTD getting the draws. So yeah, brother, I'm not shocked that the brother is out here dating an Instagram model or none of that. That's really what he wanted to do in the first place, and now I hope that women can see through guys that pander, because there's a lot of guys out here, and pandering is not telling a woman that she looks nice, and pandering is not saying that a woman deserves to get treated well, because a woman that's a good woman does deserve to be treated well and deserves to be courted properly, so on and so forth. A man that's what you're supposed to do to a good woman, for sure. Treat her with respect. I mean, I treat all women with respect until you disrespect me. That's the thing with me. I'm gonna treat all women with respect, all people in general with respect, unless you disrespect me, or unless you're a vile person, some despicable type of character in the world, in the community that needs to be extradited from the community. Other than that, you're a regular person. I'm gonna treat you with respect until you disrespect me in general. But yeah, man, this is no surprise. This man, when I saw that, I'm like, see, he out here selling that fake fool's gold, and look what's going on. He out here living a lie and out here condemning other guys that live in the life that he lives, and it came back around full circle. So yeah, women, it's a lot of dudes out here doing that pandering, and you got to be careful. Dudes that pander like that, they got an ulterior motive, and they ain't doing the right thing. They ain't about the right stuff. You know what I'm saying? They're about that thing, like Lauryn Hill said. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm gone. Peace.